everyone, it's QueenVLionz back to you with another video. This video is part 2 of the homicide that occurred in Jamaica regarding Kamisha Wright and her 4 children at the hands of their cousin Rashane Barrett. Now you will watch a brief clip of the current update regarding his case, and I will be back with my commentary.
The video of Mr. Barnett was sent to an officer of the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM. However, the JPs were later informed that the number was no longer being used by the officer. At the same time, the JP admits that regulations under the Justice of the Peace Act do not allow for videotaping of persons in custody. Mr. Barnett, who is accused of killing 5 family members in Cocoa Peace, Clarendon, was questioned about his claim of physical assault while in police custody. The JP told TVJ News this morning that the regulations stipulate that the responsibility of JPs is to protect the well-being and welfare of detainees. The JP said an investigation is to be conducted where allegations to the contrary are made. In the meantime, the 4 justices of the peace seen in the viral video continue to face the heat. One of their colleagues is calling for disciplinary action to be taken against them. As Shane Masters reports, the Lay Magistrates Association of Jamaica has also condemned their actions.
The Lay Magistrates Association of Jamaica has distanced itself from the individuals who recorded and purportedly circulated the video. The association says their actions are in contradiction to the tenets of the Office of Justice of the Peace. In a statement Sunday night, the LMAJ said the release of the video into the public domain, whether intentional or otherwise, taints the impartiality of the role of a Justice of the Peace. In the 2 minutes 19 seconds video, Mr. Barnett, who is accused of killing the 5 family members in Cocoa Peace, Clarendon, was interviewed by the Justices of the Peace about his claim of physical assault while in police custody. 4 Justices of the Peace, including medical doctor Andre Cook, were standing in a room with Mr. Barnett, who was handcuffed. Dr. Cook introduced himself and the other JPs by their surnames, one of whom turned the camera on himself. Mr. Barnett was then told that the JPs were there to ensure his rights were protected. He was then asked whether he was assaulted by the police. Mr. Barnett said he was threatened but not hit.
I've said it before and I will say it again. If this suspect walks away, it will open the floodgates for other murderers to cause this type of crimes. And here's why. The JPs that recorded this video, you guys just tainted the case, which means it's going to cause doubt on the judge and jurors' minds. Not only did you guys record this, but you guys release it to the public, or it got to the public. You guys were responsible to do one job, and it was to ensure that the suspect was safe. You guys were supposed to do your job, but instead, there is a possibility that Miss Wright and her 4 children will not get justice because of this misstep. If investigators prove with evidence that this suspect really harmed his cousins, and the suspect's defense attorneys can use this in court, which places doubt in jurors' minds, there's a possibility that this suspect can and will walk away from this murder, which means other criminals will use this case in future trials and state it is because of this JP or doctor why I should be released from prison. Jamaica, once again, this is no longer a local or national crime. It is now going to be seen around the world that persons in power could not do a thorough investigation because of ego and pride and influence, have tainted the case where a mother and her 4 children are no longer here. I want people to understand that Miss Wright and her 4 children are no longer here. A whole generation will not be able to achieve their life's goals and aspirations because of one person, allegedly. Because again, it's an ongoing case. And you guys might as well have given his defense papers to make him walk out of prison. I need persons to understand that when you are dealing with an ongoing investigation, it is imperative for the prosecution and for the defense to keep evidence locked on both sides so that when it is released to the public, it is released at one time. Now this suspect can use this, which can again cause doubt. You guys just damaged the prosecution's case. How can you guys fix this? If one juror has mercy on this alleged suspect, it does not matter how much evidence the prosecution can showcase that this suspect allegedly harmed his cousins. That tape now can be used as evidence to showcase that this young man deserves to walk away. Remind you, this homicide was not recorded, so persons cannot technically prove that he did it. We are all visual people, and if you can showcase someone being in a vulnerable position, it showcases humanity. But if you cannot prove or showcase someone being harmed physically on a tape, it is hearsay, regardless of what evidence shows. If prosecutors do not have a physical video of the actual homicide, they have to use DNA and other pictures to showcase what occurred. You guys have given the defense a visual of what occurred to their client. So now there's doubt that possibly he may not have done this horrific act. Emotions are going to run wild if persons believe that these JPs and this doctor tainted the case, which will forever dismantle the justice system of Jamaica, because at the end of the day, a mother and her 4 children are no longer here. And if persons with authority are not careful with the handling of investigations, future victims who are no longer here will not have a voice. We need to keep in mind that this is an ongoing investigation. Allow prosecutors, investigators, and the defense to gather their evidence and bring it to trial. Do not undermine this case, because this case will set precedent over future cases and where victims are violated by injury or death. Remember, at the end of the day, Miss Wright and her 4 children are no longer here. We must continue to saying their names. Kamisha Wright, Kamani Smith, Shamari Smith, Kafina Smith, and Kishon Henry. I am pleading with Jamaica. Please do not underestimate this case, because this case is going to let the world know where Jamaica stands. Will it stand for victims and their families, or will they allow their ego to taint cases moving forward, which will then give future suspects the license to harm women and children without accountability and without potential prison time? Please be safe wherever you are, and I will see you in the next video.